Hello dear students, greetings to all. Today we are going to look at Green Revolution. In the mid and late 20th century, a revolution occurred that dramatically changed the field of agriculture. And this revolution was known as Green Revolution. So that means by this Green Revolution, the entire agriculture fields have changed. Now let us look at what changes took place. What are the benefits and drawbacks of this green revolution will be discussed in this class. The green revolution was a period when the productivity of global agriculture increased drastically as a result of new advances. So because of some new advances, the agriculture products increased. There are mainly 5 points to be remembered from green revolution. First of all, chemical fertilizers, then synthetic herbicides, pesticides, high yield crops, and the last one, multiple cropping. These are the changes that occurred in the agriculture field. And because of these changes, what happened? The production increased, and that is called green revolution. So during this time, the people started to use new chemical fertilizers. Fertilizers means a chemical or natural substance added to the soil or land to increase its fertility. So because of using these chemical fertilizers, the production increased. And the next one is synthetic herbicides. Synthetic herbicides means it's something like weed killers. So when we plant wheat, for example, there will be other plants also will be growing. Some unwanted plants also will be growing. So if we use these synthetic herbicides, then these unwanted plants will be killed or will be removed. So this it is used to control unwanted plants. And the next one is pesticides. There will be lot of insects to destroy the agriculture productions or to destroy the agriculture. And using these pesticides, we can control or kill these insects. So these are the three important things used to increase the production in agriculture. The chemical fertilizers made it possible to supply crops with extra nutrients and therefore increase yield. Yield means product. So these fertilizers increased the production by giving more nutrients to the plants or agriculture. The newly developed synthetic herbicides and pesticides controlled the weeds, deterred or killed insects, and prevented diseases, which also resulted in higher productivity. And the next thing is high yield crops, that means high production crops. So they have used very good quality seeds. In addition to this, high yield crops were also developed and introduced. High yield crops are crops that are specially designed to produce more overall yield. That means in order to produce more production. A method known as multiple cropping or multi-cropping was also implemented during the Green Revolution. Multiple cropping or multi-cropping means more crops in the same piece of land. So its more explanation is given down there. Multiple cropping is when a field is used to grow two or more crops throughout the year, so that the field constantly has something growing on it. So there will be more crops in the same land. So throughout the year, there will be something growing. These new farming techniques and advances in agriculture technology were utilized by farmers all over the world, and when combined, intensified the results of Green Revolution. So the use of chemical fertilizers or introduction of chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicides, pesticides, and the use of high yield crops and the method of multiple cropping increased the result of Green Revolution. All together, the use of these things increased the products, and that is called Green Revolution. And all over the world, it was used by the people. And now let us look at the benefits of Green Revolution. So the first and foremost important benefit was the industry was able to produce much larger quantities of food the production increased. That is the main benefit. Let us look at that. As a result of the Green Revolution and the introduction of chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicides and pesticides, high yield crops, and the method of multiple cropping, the agriculture industry was able to produce much larger quantities of food. That is the first and foremost benefit of Green Revolution. Increase the production. This increase in productivity made it possible to feed the growing human population. During that time, the population was increasing. Even now also it is increasing. And because of this Green Revolution, the agriculture products increased. With that, we can easily feed the human population. In 1940s, agriculture scientist Norman Borlaug developed a strain of wheat that could resist diseases, was short, which reduced damage by wind, and could produce large seeds head and high yields. That means the scientists started to develop new different types of seeds which can resist diseases or the climatic changes or the wind, etc., so that the production of wheat increased. He introduced this variety of wheat in Mexico, and within 20 years the production of wheat had tripled. This allowed for the production of more food for people in Mexico and in other countries. In addition to producing large quantities of food, the Green Revolution was also beneficial because it made it possible to grow more crops on roughly the same amount of land with a similar amount of effort. That means the second benefit of Green Revolution is that it reduced production cost. The first one is that it increased the production. Second benefit was that it reduced the production cost. And the third one is that it also resulted in cheaper prices for food in the market. The price for the food decreased. So there are three important benefits given in our textbook. The first one is that the production increased. Second one is that the production cost decreased or reduced. And the third one is that the price for the food reduced. The ability to grow more food on the same amount of land was also beneficial. The fact that from 1961 to 2008, as the human population increased by 100% and the production of food rose by 150%, the amount of forests and natural land converted to farm only increased by 10%. And the fourth benefit was within a short place, the production was increased. The ability to grow more food on the same amount of land was also beneficial. That was the fourth benefit of this Green Revolution. We know that for all the things there will be some drawbacks also. And what was the main important drawback of this Green Revolution that is given in our textbook? And it was pollution and erosion. Although the Green Revolution had several benefits, there were also some issues associated with this period that affected both the environment and society. The use of chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicides and pesticides dramatically influenced the environment by increasing pollution. It started to make the water polluted, air polluted, soil polluted, whatever it is. The environment became polluted by this Green Revolution. And erosion means soil erosion. The upper layer of the soil is removed. The quality of the soil is removed. Likewise, erosion also took place. So the main drawback of this Green Revolution is that pollution and erosion. So dear students, we have seen about Green Revolution. There are 5 points given about the Green Revolution. That is the use of new chemical fertilizers, synthetic herbicides, pesticides, use of high yield crops, and the method of multiple cropping. And the benefits are increased the production, reduced the production cost, and resulted in a cheaper price for food, and could grow more food from the same amount of land. These are the benefits, and the drawbacks was pollution and erosion. Dear students, read the chapter, underline the important points, write it down in your copy, and learn it by heart. Have a nice day. God bless you all.